everyone, Fox is here, and welcome to my August book haul part 2. And this is going to be part with classics, modern classics, and plays. I have quite a lot of books to go through, so let's just get started. And I would like to start with plays. The first ones that I have here are both by Shakespeare, and this is Richard II and The Winter's Tale. I watched The Winter's Tale in the production of, I think, West End with Judi Dench, which was very interesting, and thank you so much NT for broadcasting it to Canada. But I want to read the play because not only it has, like we all know, the most famous stage directions, but also it is a basis for one of the other books that I'm going to hold today. So yeah, I'm excited to read it because I watched it on stage and now I want to read the play. And this one is Richard II. I also watched this play. I don't remember which theater staged it, but it was also a broadcast and it had David Tennant as Richard in it. I really enjoyed that play, so I decided to pick it up to see if there are any specific stage directions because I'm curious about that. Then I got myself Tom and Viv by Michael Hastings, and this is a play which is based on the lives of Thomas Elyot and his wife. I have never watched the play on stage, but I listened to it as an audio drama and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it showed Thomas Elyot to me in like a completely different light. I really enjoyed it, and that's why I always wanted to read the play itself. This is a movie tie-in edition. There is a movie which I haven't seen yet, but I might see. This is a very used yellow copy, but I couldn't find it anywhere in local bookstore, so I had to order it at Ape. And I'm excited to read it. It's been a while since I listened to that play, a couple of years I think, and I would love to read it again and listen to it as an audiobook. Then I have Salome by Oscar Wilde. As you know, I love Oscar Wilde and I've been collecting his plays as standalones for a while now. I don't really know much about this play, but I'm looking forward to reading it. Then I got myself a copy of The Threepenny Opera by Brecht. If you watched my theater chit-chat video, you know that I'm looking forward to seeing the Threepenny Opera production by NT Live. And I decided to read this play before I watch it on stage as a broadcast. I actually read this play for school a number of years ago. Unfortunately, don't remember anything. So that's why I have a second-hand copy to read now. And I'm looking forward to it because the Threepenny Opera by National Theatre is going to be a very interesting production, I think. And the last but definitely not least is Peter and Alice by John Logan. Honest to God, I know next to nothing about this play except for it has to do with Peter Pan, and Jen Campbell recommended to read this play together with Peter Pan, the novel itself, and she's going to have a video or a series of videos like a read-along in September for Peter Pan, and I want to participate in that. That's why I decided to pick this play up. Now onto books. And the first one that I have here is obviously Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, and this is a very lovely edition that I got from Book Outlet, and I realized that I never had a copy of Peter Pan. However funny it sounds, I had different editions. I had like a child's edition, but this is the edition that Jen recommended to read for her read-along, so I purchased it, and it's really pretty. I don't know why it has this floppy sides of the book here. I think it's called like French cover or whatever, but I really like it. Then I got myself a copy of And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I'm a huge Agatha Christie fan, and unfortunately I do not own all of her books, and this is what I'm trying to remedy now. I'm trying to buy more of her books, and I got this one as a mass market paperback. Not my most favorite format because I have other books by her in a similar cover style. I think it's also by Harper, but it's bigger. It's more like trades paperback, but this one should be also good, and I don't really think that I've ever read it, which is funny because I read pretty much almost all of her books, especially the ones which are about Poirot, but you know, I'm looking forward to reading it if I haven't read it. And then I got myself these three lovely classics for only $10. And this is The Old Man and the Sea by Hemingway, Animal Farm by George Orwell, and some Lovecraft. I'm pretty sure I've never read Lovecraft before, even though his works are heavily referenced like all over sci-fi and horror. I'm not a huge fan of horror, but I like browse through it, and I kind of like whatever the stories are there, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I read Animal Farm before, remember next to nothing. Same usual, I read it for school, that's why I don't remember anything. And The Old Man and the Sea, that's another one I'm pretty sure I read. At least I know what it is about, and I know the metaphor and all references, but I don't really remember reading it. Kind of funny, I know this is how my brain works, but I'm looking forward to reading this one, so whenever I get to it, I really like these editions. And they are super cheap. I mean, this is cheap, but all three for $10, seriously. How can you say no to that? Then I got myself a super old copy of Jacob's Hands by Huxley and Isherwood, and that's one of those things that I had on my radar and on my list for a while, and I never got around to reading it or purchasing it, and it's quite an interesting edition. And just like, it's really super old. I think I got it from A-Books, and it was super cheap, but at the same time, it's so yellow and so dusty. Oh god, but I'm looking forward to reading it. Then I have a copy, Dancer from the Dance by Andrew Holleran, which is quoted as the best gay novel written by anyone of our generation. I don't know, it's a really, really bold statement, but it's supposedly about a man, a gay man who comes to New York and is trying to find love, so I believe it will be a novel about sort of finding yourself, New York, and also possibly about AIDS. And to be completely honest, AIDS or any other terminal illness is not something that I usually enjoy reading about, quite opposite in fact, but I want to give this one a go as it has been consistently popping up in my recommendations on Indigo, so I'm decided to purchase it. Then I got myself a copy of The Hours by Michael Cunningham. I'm pretty sure that I attempted to read this book before. I definitely watched the movie and I enjoyed it, and I know that it's considered to be one of the classics in LGBTQ plus literature, and I always wanted to own my own copy, and I never got around to it, and then I saw this book available in a book outlet and I decided to purchase it. Hopefully I'll get to it one day, because this book is definitely worth reading, and I'm not even sure why I never read the book itself. Maybe just because I watched the movie and never had a chance to read the book, maybe that's why, but I'm looking forward to it. I know that I say almost every single time after I hold a book that I'm looking forward to reading it, but that's true. That's true, just because I wouldn't buy a book that I wouldn't want to read, and if I bought it, it means that I want to read it, and I'm looking forward to reading it, and that's completely true. But I'm just rambling. Let's move on. And then I have a copy of Madeline is Sleeping by Sarah Shanleen Bynum. I saw this book on Sophie Carlin's channel and she loved it, which means I'll probably love it too, because this is magical realism and I like magical realism. And also this cover is both awesome and creepy. And I really want to read this one. I've been looking at this one for a while now, because some chapters are really, really short. Like, some pages do not have that much text on it. And I've been thinking, oh, maybe I should just pick it up and read it. But I'm reading something else right now, so this one has to wait. But I'm excited. I also got myself a copy of Orlando by Virginia Woolf. And even though I do have this book as audiobook on Audible, and I'm pretty sure I should have a copy of it back home in my parents' house, but I was kind of overcome with this weird urge to read it, and I purchased it, but I haven't read it yet, which is kind of silly, but here we go. I mean, this is Virginia Woolf, and this is one of her most favorite works, in which we have a protagonist who keeps waking up either as a man or a woman. So keeps changing bodies essentially, and I'm excited to read this one, even though the font is tiny, and I don't know why they had to make this really weird cover, but yeah, hopefully I'll get to it like relatively soon. Next I have A Room with a View by E.M. Forster, and I'm pretty sure I have a copy of it back home, but I decided to buy it because it was super cheap, because it's a used copy. You can see stains here and some creases, and it's like really dusty. And inside I found this little tag that says, well, Mommy from Laura and Dave. And I feel really bad for whoever this book used to be owned by, but I'm going to keep it. I don't know, I'll just keep it. Next, I have Amy and Jaguar by Erica Fisher, and this is another book that I know that there is a movie based on it, and I think I watched the movie, but I never read the book. It is set in Berlin, and I think it's, in a way, it's like autobiography, but at the same time it's fiction. Honestly, don't know, but I want to read it because I've had it on my radar for a while. As you can tell, this is the theme of this book haul and pretty much any other book haul, but yeah. Next, I have Shadow by the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and this is also a used copy because I really wanted to read this book, but the line for this book at my library was so long that there were so many people requesting this book that I decided to purchase my own copy. Just didn't want to pay the full price, so I got it from Ape or Amazon Marketplace. I'm not really sure. Everyone knows what this book is about. Everyone has read it. I haven't read it, obviously, but at the same time, I was really hesitant to pick it up because it is set during the Second World War, and that's one of those things that I hate reading about. I hate reading about Second World War or any war. I mean, like, unless it's a fantasy world, but if it's a real world and if it's a real war, this is not something that I wanted to read about. That's why I did not pick it up before, but finally I decided to follow everyone else and read it. So hopefully I'll get to it sometime soon. Then I got myself a copy of Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I know that this is a sci-fi, but I didn't hold it in my other video. I don't know why, but whatever. This is also a secondhand copy. This is actually a library copy, which I was really excited about because it has a plastic cover, and I love covers. I'm sorry, I'm a geek. I like to keep my books really, really safe and protected. So I got this copy, and I've never seen this cover before. I'm pretty sure it should be UK cover. Yeah, I think it's a UK cover. And it's also really big. It's bigger than I expected, and I couldn't get this book from the library for the same reason as with The Shadow of the Wind, because it's just like there were so many people requesting it, and I wanted to read it as soon as possible, not like next year. So I picked it up. Next, I have a copy of The Raw Shark Texts by Stephen Hall. Know nothing about this book except for its magical realism, and it's also blurred by Mark Haddon. And Mark Haddon wrote The Curious Accident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I really liked. And I decided to pick it up. Apparently, there is a man who sees sharks everywhere. That would be fun. So yeah, I really this was basically a cover purchase because I looked at this cover and I looked at this title and I was like, wait a second, I want to read this. So here we go. Next, I have a copy of The Gap of Time by Jeanette Winterson, and this is another purchase, all thanks to Sophie Carlin. Yes, I'm buying Jeanette Winterson books now, and this one is based on The Winter's Tale by Shakespeare. That's the book that, or rather the play that I hauled in this video. So I assume that the plot is based on The Winter's Tale, and if you know what is The Winter's Tale about, so you'll probably know what this book is about. That's it. We're almost done, guys. I swear, we're almost done. Next, I have a copy of the book that I most probably will mispronounce, and this is Miniaturist by Jessie Barton. And I've seen a lot of people talk about this book, and everyone seems to like it. I've been resisting to pick this one up because it has to do a lot with oppressing women, and it's also set in a period that I'm not really interested in. But since a lot of people were really recommending it on BookTube, I decided to pick it up. Plus, I like this cover. I think it's really cute, and I'm so glad that I got myself a paperback because hardback is kind of big. Next, I have a copy of Tell the Wolves I Am Home by Carol Rivka Brent. And this is another book that was in my recommendations on Indigo website, and I decided to pick it up. This is about a girl who used to have a brother, elder brother, but he dies and she doesn't know why. And then a man appears who seems to have had some sort of connection to her brother, and it has to do with AIDS and also coming out and being gay and all of that stuff, which usually really interests me, except for AIDS part. But I decided to give this one a go because it apparently has very good reviews on Goodreads, and hopefully I'll get to it sometime later, maybe this year. I feel as if this might be a very good winter read for some reason. And I have the last two books. Yeah, I know, the last but not least, definitely. And they both have to do with Sherlock Holmes. I'll start with this one. This one is a Sherlock Holmes adventure, Art in the Blood by Bonnie McBurn. I kept seeing this book in Indigo and I was really interested in it, but it was so expensive and I didn't want to spend much money on it. So apparently this is a Sherlock Holmes mystery. And I love Sherlock Holmes. I can read anything that has to do with Sherlock Holmes. So I picked this one up from Book Outlet, and I'm excited to read it. I mean, like, look at this cover. It's so pretty. It's just like, oh. And the very last, but definitely not the least one, is The Hand of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle, a graphic novel. Oh my god, when I saw it in Book Outlet, I was like, I have to have it. I don't care if it's good or if it's bad. This is Sherlock Holmes, this is a canon story, and I haven't read it yet, but I really want to, because Sherlock Holmes. And this is one of the most beloved stories. This is not my most favorite story, but I think in a graphic format it's gonna be a very cool one. Besides, look at this. Or look at this hound. Oh my god, I'm just so excited about it, and I'm so glad that I saw it on Book Outlet. I'm so excited. This is it, guys. This is the end of my second part of my August book haul, but this is not the end. I will have the third part. Yes, I had to split this book haul into 3 parts. That's insane. Oh my god, this is really insane. But the third part is coming very soon, and that one will have YA fantasy novels. So I'll see you in the third part. Bye. Caught my interest when I was watching one of oh, the dust. The lovely dust.